you. Raziabo anope yaba. Yahu kong. Yahu tantan yenimida better too. Yahu yina. We ask that let your spirit take control of this program. Jesus. Let your spirit, we pray and ask you that take absolute control. You surrender ourselves to you. Any spirit of confusion, any spirit that will bring chaos into this meeting, we ask you that you, Lord, take control of that under your feet. Yes, if I share. Papa. Na yenye da doke sede yebotuma kanwaso na kokai manya kukudra yebotuma yeza akasa bibi tunyana kumada mama yensro papa gbehenano gbehena dwunim ezihena sofu ya wobeka yenwa no pension will. We ask you that you be with each and every one of them. Yes, your moderator, brother, Bia, she will send strong. Papa, Musu Subishana ma, Papa, Nana Casamo, Yamma, Papa, yeah, Papa, our figure or the president. We commit him into your hands. Each one of us on the line. The one part want to remember when we dream. Your company as a year for who got down in our sim. We ask for your peace, Lord. Some year in our chafa, your boy, ni akade inyo. Yezile movement week. Na yenya mfasu wom. Meshe nyama bebre wom. Yada wasano pede beye ne damama hen. O Sunday yebi se yinyinara. O Christ Jesus mpabote fuzimu. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Sister Elizabeth. Thank you so much, and thank you, Christ Band, for a wonderful prayer this morning. Ebusiafo za otodibio no. My best friend here, chairman, we will introduce here speakers for the day. But speakers, you know, none other I'm introduce one now. John say, yeah, Ozime Cherubad. Na Nampo na humanimpo man set the mission. Matters protocol no be or her and send you her no sade payinala okay. Na here paying or but man sade mo introduce it. It's a before my friend chairman will be introducing it. I want us to do a little spiritual warm up. At this moment we are about 66 on this Zoom line right now. Let us do this evangelistic warm up right now. Mapamucho easy mara obiara mfan phone. Forward the link to 2 people. Forward the link to 2 people. I give you 2 minutes. And after that, call 2 other people that the program has started. We want them to join us from the onset. One boy, one line, so now 1 year, 2 minutes. Now, that's right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Remember the line of Cosso, Domino about our cheddar, Ibinum, Yaya, Juma, with the chef when you are break and the pay. Bradley Chairman, the ball is in your court. Thank you very much.
I will serve
the church.
I will serve
The church.
and I will serve
The church.
The church.
Christ in you.
Yeah, this year.
Amen.
Amen.
So, it's a privilege to be called upon to introduce such important personalities among us. I try all I can to let someone else do this, but it went round, came back to me. And Odipa Bedi kind introduce no on here introduction. He's been here before most of us. He's been among us. The one thing people don't really know about this person is that over the years, he has been leading from behind. And we don't seem to appreciate that because it's just few years that we are seeing his face. But I'll tell you, for over 20 years here in North America, he has been working. No other person than our Bishop Deputy, Professor Emmanuel Lati. You are welcome, sir. And the next, it's a special person who is visiting North America Mission Diocese this morning. He was born July 19, 1961. So tomorrow, I want to see a lot, almost everybody testing on the lay movement platform, happy birthday. And I will put all happy birthday together and send it to him. He was born July 19, 1961 at Asin Edubiase in Central Region. He went through schools, transferred several places, but he ended up being an esquire, an attorney in the United States, since a lawyer in Ghana. His work took him to Sunyani in Buno Ahafo region, where I also had my education. And if we say an embodiment of Sunyani Diocese, he is the one, serving at several committees. For many years, he was a legal advisor for Sunyani Diocese. A lay preacher himself, an assistant lay chairman himself, and now the lay president of conference. Like I said, he's a lawyer, humble. He's married to Madame Emily Ama Ntriwa Odro. Ladies and gentlemen, I am introducing to you Brother William Oriens Kweku Akon Odro, the lay president of the Methodist Church Ghana. Lay president, sir, your audience, North American Mission Diocese, North American Mission Diocese, your special guest this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. However, I'm audible. You can hear me.
We can, yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
Thank you so much for the introduction. You've just reminded me of my impending birthday. Thanks so much for the reminder that I'm aging by the day. May I congratulate you so much for what the Lord has used you to accomplish this week. We continue to thank God for the lives of those of you there and the way you are holding the banner of Methodist Church Ghana in America. May God bless you for spreading the message of our cherished church in America. And I continue to congratulate you for this week's celebration, to the extent that all those that have had opportunity to participate have said one thing, that it's a useful exercise they found themselves involved in. So I thank you so much for the work you've done this week, and I believe that you're going to do more. May I continue by urging us to do all that we can to let people appreciate what the lay movement stands for. Up to date, many do not appreciate the constitutional mandate of the lay movement. And it's very simple. And let us do all that we can to break it down for the appreciation of our members. The mandate that's captured by our constitution is that, in fact, it's the SO 286, is to assist in the implementation of the decisions of the church, and also to mobilize all lay persons to have these decisions implemented. The crucial mandate that I also find in our provision is the coordinating of all organizations within the church. The hard fact is that by virtue of the sheer number of the organization, the numbers, we have 9 major organizations and other groupings in the church. And that alone demonstrates the division we have in the church. To the extent that if any organization is having any meeting or any major celebration, hardly do you find other organizations participating. That is why, in the wisdom of our forebears, they brought the lay movement concept into being, so that we would be able to coordinate the activities of all the organizations for effective growth of our church. So I would urge us that when we have the opportunity, we break it down for people to appreciate that the lay movement isn't an organization, but a unifier, so that together we move the church forward. Another thing that I've realized over the period is that many people do not know the provisions of our constitution. So ever since I was elected, by the grace of God and by your charity, I've purposed to let people know the dictates of our constitution, because I've always said that the way the constitution is couched, is crafted, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Everything that we need to grow is captured in the constitution. Everything, starting from family prayers to corporate prayer, everything is spelled out. Marriage, everything is there. So if you read the details of our constitution, you can do a lot just using the constitutional provisions. So that's what I've taken upon myself to do ever since you gave me the mandate to lead this beautiful church of ours. I've also drawn the attention of the singing groups that our forebears have given us a hymn book. The hymn book itself is virtually summary of the Bible. You sing the hymn and you are touched. But somehow we've limited ourselves to only the hymn that we were taught. This morning I was drawing the attention of the Cape Coast Diocese to the hymn books. For example, if you take a hymn book, on top of it are various numbers and alphabets. You have CM, you have LM, you have SM, and some numbers you will find 888, 8886, and many others. Now, when you look at these numbers, CM, the popular tune is hymn 1. But hymn 1, you can use many tunes, or many tunes to sing hymn 1, many. So that there are many CMs in the constitution that we don't sing. When you take SM, there are many SM hymns in the constitution, in the Bible, and the hymn we don't sing. So I'm challenging the choristers to assist us to sing. In fact, if you take the hymn books, we are singing about 20% of the hymns that we have. And you read the content of other hymns that we don't sing, and you'll be surprised about what we have that we are not cherishing. So another area that we have to look at is our singing ministry. God has blessed us. People are using our hymns to compose songs, to have so much money. So our musicians, do so much for Methodist Church Ghana, for yourselves and the church, by using our hymns to, as it were, bring out songs, contemporary songs or old songs, to help us in our propagation of the gospel. This morning, for example, I also challenged ourselves that we have the Boys and Girls Brigade. I don't know whether you have some in your societies. It is another instrument for evangelism that we've taken lightly, because people are attracted by music. Now, if these young boys and girls march at a particular place, they're able to attract so many people. They bring the people together, then we give the word. So in a nutshell, I'm saying that if you read our constitution, we've got so many things that the laity can champion to enable us move forward as a church. So I would end here as my preliminary statement, and I'll wait what the moderator has for us. Once again, may God bless you for what you've done for Methodist Church Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Papa. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. The plan is that we will also want to hear a little bit of where the church is moving to in the next few years. What should we prepare ourselves to help moving it, both in Ghana, and when you have finished giving us that, then our bishop will also come in and give us a little bit of what is going on over here. And with that, after that, then we'll open the lines for all questions. Papa, so this is what we have for you.
So can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We having our conference in August, this time in Winneba. And God willing, our constitution that has seen some amendments would be finalized. We're just praying that we're having the drafts. Let me show you the drafts here. This is the drafts of the new constitution. Some additions have been added, and some changes have been made as regards our offices and institutions. And we used to have boards. Now we have coordinating offices and directorates. These have all been done. We are at the moment crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and hopefully by the end of conference, we would have the corrections made for us to have a constitution that this time around will make sure that we publish copies that whoever would want to have would have, because over the years, those that we were using, many people had no copies. But we're praying that we'll be able to print enough for people to know what the church stands for. We also have a strategic plan that the officers in charge are educating us. We are still on it. We've not finished with education. Those responsible are still going around educating people. We're praying that hopefully by the end of the year, they may be able to educate many people so that we know what we stand for to move the church forward. I wouldn't speak so much about the strategic plan because we are still having education as to what should be done to move our church forward. But it's all, they all sit well in our constitution, and it's an agenda to move us forward as regards what we can do. So principally, we have the strategic plan which will drive the church. But the lay movements in the various dioceses are all up and doing. And over the years, I've been able to attend many of the AGMs. And as I speak, I've just finished the opening ceremony with the Cape Coast Diocese, and I'm speaking from Anumabo, the first capital of Ghana. So when you come down, please embark upon domestic tourism to look at what Madbo has done for Ghana. Many of the great men started from here. Agre, Mutu Blanks, and the rest. So one of the sites that you have to visit when you come to Ghana is Anumabo. So, and I would end here and yield the platform to the moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Papa. Thank you again. And also, if anybody who is going to want a history of go to my hometown, Accra, Kumfi, Accra. It's also
okay.
another place to visit.
I see.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's a kwan da sam oyada wasipi that the Ghana Sam Abraham. Now at this point in time, I'm the ever friend bishop, and so I saw him look at what we have for the North American mission. I'm there over the past weekend. Pinaso into Mamba line or been went to Mamba and see most of the things that Bishop said they didn't hear. So Bishop, in all humility, we invite you to tell us something where the mission is going so we can chip in our one or two ideas to spearhead it. Thank you very much, Bishop.
Thank you so very much, our beloved moderator. And thank you so much, lay president. It is great and good and wonderful to see you and to hear you as you have helped us to see the whole church, how the whole church is moving forward. So thank you for being with us. Sisters and brothers, I just been asked to say a few words about where we are as North America Mission Diocese as we move forward within the connection. One of the things that we've been talking about this week has been connectionality. We are a part of a great movement of God called the Methodist Church Ghana. We are an integral part of this, and every society is a part of a circuit, and every circuit is a part of a diocese, and every diocese then is a part of the connection, the conference. And what happens in terms of our structures and our operations, what happens at the conference level is mirrored through the whole church. This is one thing that we have been trying to help people to understand. So every society has the organizational structure of the conference. Every society has its leaders meeting and has the 4 offices as the way in which they operate. And then you come to the circuits and you have exactly that also. And then the diocese. And so our synod, our last synod held just a few weeks ago, actually, is coming to the conference at Winneba. We have elected representatives, and we are coming to the conference in Winneba as an integral part of the church. And the major thing that we are coming to conference with is a resolution for the establishment of a full diocese among us. We have, in a sense, we have crossed our T's and dotted our I's. So the resolution that we are taking to Winneba Conference demonstrates how we are going to operate as a full diocese. And we believe that we have fulfilled all the conditions and all the things that are necessary. So we are expecting, hoping and praying that conference will affirm that and will also decide to grant to us full diocesan status. So that's the major thing. I want to say a few words about our different circuits and how our circuits are operating, just to give us a sense. We are working with the strategic plan, and we are working that we're so grateful to have the administrative bishop and the presiding bishop himself to share with us again just a few weeks ago about this strategic plan, and to lift up the two major themes: renewal and growth. Renewal and growth. And this has organized all that we are doing in our different circuits. So beginning from our cathedral circuit, which is Newark, New Jersey circuit, I'll share a few things. Newark, New Jersey has recognized 3 zones within the circuit: New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts Worcester. So 3 zones, and they are targeting areas for growth and development in these 3 zones. There is a new society in Rhode Island. This society is named Gethsemane Society in Rhode Island. And it is within the Massachusetts Worcester zone. This society is being the focal point for growth and evangelism and all the efforts that are being made to expand and to extend the work of God throughout that circuit with this focal point. So, you know, we are having people supporting across the diocese. We have invited, and people are supporting, organizations and others are all supporting this new development in Newark, New Jersey. Then moving to Atlanta, Atlanta circuit, I'm pleased to say next weekend, we will be inaugurating Houston, Texas Society. Houston, Texas Society is an interesting one. It began life as a church community belonging to another sister denomination. And over the years, they have transitioned and now want to be a full part of Methodist Church Ghana. And so we will be inaugurating the society next weekend. A major effort, which is now being the thing that the whole diocese is taking up, is the inauguration of the Los Angeles, California Society. This will be our first major movement onto the west coast of United States of America. So LA Society happens to have there one of the current caretaker is actually a grandson of our illustrious father Gadiel Akwa. And so actually the LA Society, if you like, is a grandkid of our General Superintendent Gadiel Akwa, for whom Adomabo was not very far away from where he was located. So we are actually extending this work, and LA will become a stepping stone for Oregon and for Washington State, where there are many Ghanaians, but where the Methodist Church is not present over there. So we are using that as a focal area for our frontier onto the West Coast. And the plans are very, very far advanced for the establishment of many more societies along the West Coast of the United States of America. So moving on to Toronto, moving into Canada, it's very, very important for, especially for all of us, to recognize that North American Mission Diocese extends over 2 countries. It's not just one country. We are not just US. We are US and Canada. And so in a sense, this diocese is perhaps geographically the largest diocese of the Methodist Church Ghana in any part of the world.
Yes.
Running over 2 countries. Well, in Canada, we are located in Toronto. That's how they say it, you know. With some of us, we used to say Toronto, but they keep telling us that it's Toronto. But anyway, we are at work over there, and the circuit has identified 7 potential areas for church planting: Niagara area, London, Ontario, Waterloo, Quebec City, Kingston, Winnipeg, and Regina. The circuit has identified these 7 potential areas. So, you know, we run across, at the moment, it's just one circuit, but it runs across from east to west. Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, these are all a part. We have small societies over there. There's a great work happening in Montreal and all of this. And so there's potential there for growth and for development. It is our desire that Toronto will soon be able to have a number of circuits and will soon be in a position within the next few years to be a diocese in itself. The last, but not the least, that I will mention is Washington Circuit. These are the 4 circuits that we have. Washington Circuit continues also to emphasize maturity in Christ and improving the quality of life of all members through seminars and through, they have a very active presence online and do a lot of educative materials, educative webinars in health, in education, in social activism, and so on. And they are very much involved in this. They are seeking to establish 4 to 6 new societies within the coming period of time, and continue to provide leadership and consolidation of efforts towards evangelism and church growth. So, Mr. Lay President and all of us, we thank God for our connection. And we see ourselves as a vital extension work of Methodist Church Ghana. And we trust that by the grace of God, as we continue to mobilize ourselves, as we continue to move under the strategic goals of growth and renewal, that we will be impacting Ghanaians, but not only Ghanaians, throughout the world. We will spread the gospel and invite people to a saving knowledge and relationship with Jesus Christ. That is our vision, and that is our mission. We thank God that we are on a move to the glory of God. Thank you very much, and we look forward to our further conversations and discussions this morning.
Thank you so much, Papa. Thank you so much. God bless you. This is very, very, very clear vision of the North American Mission Diocese. Ebusuafo, Papa Kaino, 286 or catcher and there. We the lay mobilize people, mobilize the members in the church to implement the decisions of the synod, the quarterly meeting, the leaders meeting. Now our bishop has laid everything on the table for us. It is up to us, the lay movement, to take this and run with it. What are we doing? This is where we are here today. So our questions and answers is going to be this way. Let me give you a little rules of engagement here. In Pepe and I are not we make it worse by everybody. One in, the voices increased. I mean, voices no feature bad. Oh my, I don't know your words. In Paulia, they didn't employ your words. In Portugal, it's the Obiari did that. We have our technical men ready. They're going to mute the person. So don't say anything. But the staff will be on the phone to mute, or to mute, and use the reaction buttons if you want to talk. But just for today, just for a few hours from now, I am in charge. So please, I will look at where whoever is want to speak, whether it is a question or a contribution. Emma Wonsada, Mama Painful Aswat, Yabama Kwanma, a bisa question. Na Bishop Waha, lay president Waha, lay chairman Waha, baby a question if you be no. Obabua, me you question and fair. Or contributions to my hand and for church. Secretaries were lying that what church or say, what, to be my hair few days, the age more be not so extra hena or bachelor now paying for what church I general home. At this point, a Makai Modet. Questions, and it's not going to be just what we have heard today. Over the
recording in progress.
Over the week, Mbisa questions from Monday up to Endeda. Nyama P Quado na time na is so constrained that we deliver not we don't have much time to ask questions. And say that if Monday near yes of me Bishop near Bakasai or a solid team I mean Bishop past Bishop or Sabute or here Bakasai was solid team but your chair may be Trehen. The Eka or question be na wa intimate bisan. Tuesday no yana and Sister Abigail here Bakasai Moya or my lay movement from society and circuit what ye Juma the bois sorry. No so questions are who be intimate bisano no so Kakawa Jonathan short to her. Wednesday, your brother Dr. Edu say incoming lay chairman. No so here Bakasai war organizations, Moya, what you my history of the church and all that. It's all question be at that time, and also what to home hand. Thursday, yeah, Bishop, on youth coordinator, brother, Sofo Ebo, when here, Penso in share our youth program and him, you know, what that was a busy Juma. Na question bearer our youth, yeah, also no so why ready there, baby, I know, and Friday, no, fair, we had the panel discussion, and our panelists gave us so much to think about, so much. And sometimes, you know, out of those things that they gave us, we pick up a lot of questions, which the time constraint did not allow us to ask our questions. So, all questions will be no, you tuition there, and say, Mumbo, 1 year to her, the if you want to talk, use the reaction buttons, and I will see it, and I will call you to talk. But for now, mute your phones. Thank you very much. Late Chairman, Bishop, Late President, Mr. Samuel is the name of lines and for questioning.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. The lines are open for questioning. The lines are opening now for questioning.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. And you?
President Moses Suzuko, I'm the MP, I need to share them out. Obiara and Pedro obey first, will be some question, and our Kasa. Now, Marmo Boy, Panama hand.
My hand has been up. My hand has been up for a while.
Your hand is up, but your wine.
La Ayele is
Now,
now,
you have the floor. Is it now or Besiabua?
No, na Ayele.
Now you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. My question is, I wasn't clear. I wasn't clear on the day our chairman-elect talked to us about the role of the labor movement and the organizations. I want to be clear on that. I want to see the relationship between the lay and the organizations, and also the leaders meeting in the societies. I'm joining the three: the leaders meeting, the lay, and the organizations. I want to be clear with that. I wasn't clear that day. Then my second question is, what is the procedure of outgoing executives? Because all what I see is organizations will have elections. Then on Sunday, they get inducted. That same Sunday, if others have legalias, they have, if they want them at that day, they take the legalias from you and then they throw you away. The next Monday, if there is a line and you are on the line, they take your name out or they change the line. So I'm curious. I'm trying. I need explanation. I need how the outgoing or how it is being done. If you held a position and you are going out, is it that after they need you, they call you, they don't need you? At that time, do they have to throw you just away? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Nai. Thank you so much, Sister Nayele. This question, I will refer it to our late chairman to help us. And if after his answering, if anybody has a contribution, we'll take that. Thank you, lay chairman.
You mean to say lay president or lay chairman?
Oh, I said lay chairman.
Moderator, you're good.
Excellent.
I will assist the late chairman when if he's unable to exhaust the
Exactly.
the answer. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't cast a mono. You can't, you fairly lay movement, I say a coup bad time. A coup bad time, which makes all other organizations, if I should use this word loosely, subsidiaries of the lay movement. They draw their link from lay movement. To me, they draw their strength from lay movement. As of now, when we talk of the structure as we have, the new constitution, there was some provision or proposals. I'm yet to see if it was taken or not, and lay president can help us on that direction. When organizational representatives go to the higher decision body within our structure, they go as observers. The lay president go as member of conference, and for that matter, the vice chair of conference. Therefore, we channeled our grievances and recommendations, everything through the lay movement to conference. That is the relationship, because the provision as lay president states that the movement should coordinate the activities of the organization. The organizations are there for activities. So if you remember in one of our conversation, a member and I was trying to get his understanding on lay movement vis-a-vis the coordination of activities, because my understanding was it was repetitive of activities, which I think is not. We have different core functions that we perform. So, Mamina, if you ask for the role and the relationship, that is what it is. The movement is the mouthpiece of the organizations until, and even when we are able to plead and this provision is upheld to a point where organizational reps are going to even be conference member, synod members, quarterly meeting members, they will still need lay movement as a body to channel all these issues to. Lay presidents, let me even use this as an example. Before 3-4 months ago, our congregational choir over the years had issues, you know, upon the advice of or the leadership of presiding bishop, asked lay president to make sure that the choir is well organized and functioning. That is the role. And I used that conference example. And then over here in our diocese, several occasions that lay movement have been called upon to seek to the organization or orderliness of what goes through our organization. So that's the rule and the link. About time, and that supposed to help coordinate, organize, and also take feedback from the organizations to the upwards of the structures as we have. When it comes to the election and taking over of office. I think at the beginning of the week, I made mention of that. That is about time we separate people coming into office from people taking over. Me, where I come from is personally, and that's my personal observation, is most of our elections, we do it, I would say, from human point of view. Okay, we let our elections, we allow it to divide us so much so that if you happens to have conversation in favor of A and B wins, then anybody who had anything to do with A, you don't matter. Your ideas doesn't matter. You know, your talents are not useful. And that is what brings all these. But for that, we are all members. If you earn a service or an office, it doesn't mean you are out of the organization. In fact, the new harmonization, first it was just immediate past chair or immediate past president being part of the executive. Now they even add an immediate past secretary if that secretary doesn't move up to any other position. So that recognition of our history and heritage, people should keep it for continuation of things that happen from one administration is the other. It's recognized, and that is what the conference wants us to do. To me, we should eschew our differences, embrace unity, and all these things will be at the end of the past. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Papa President, late President, will you be a part of this order and now you move on?
Okay. He talked about the elections.
Right.
Elections. The role of the labor movement, by virtue of its coordinating role of the organizations, it is imperative that when you're looking at the diocesan level, the lay executive would have to supervise the elections of the organizations. That is very, very important.
Yes.
He cited an example of the choir. And those who have followed events will know that the choir had a difficulty. Like he rightly stated, the presiding bishop, knowing the mandate of lay movement, charged the lay president to see to the resolution of the difficulty that the choir found itself. And we say to the glorification of God that with the help of some ministers, we were able to resolve the difficulty and also supervised the elections of the choir after vetting the candidates. The lay chairman, the lay president was mandated to do that, and that should be it, because that is the constitutional mandate of lay movement. Again, I was able to supervise the election of Suma, and before the election, I and some ministers conducted the vetting to enable us have a smooth sailing election. So the lay movement is such that, as he mentioned, to coordinate the activities. So when you read the constitutional provision, if we are to coordinate the activities of the organizations, it stands to reason that these that I've mentioned all fall into it. Because as I stated earlier, the organizations are many and thereby dividing our ranks. So that is principally the role of the lay movement. And he mentioned the representation at conference. Yes, thank God there is an amendment where the organizations, some, because of numbers, all the organizational heads at the diocesan, at the congregational level would not attend conference at a go. We've divided it. For example, 4 may start or 5 may start. In that rotation, the following conference, another set would go in that order, so that we don't have, because in our conference representation, we match ministers and laity. So if you are not careful, we'll have many ministers and many laity over and above the ministers. So in the wisdom of the church, some organizations would attend in that rotational manner. The following year, another set would attend in that way. So that's about the organizations and conference. Then he mentioned, he questioned what leaders meeting stand for. He says he doesn't understand so much about leaders meeting. Let me take opportunity to appreciate the fact that leaders meeting, if you read SO 722, the functions of leaders meeting are spelled out there. The functions, many functions, many. It runs. If I'm not, it's quite a lot. So for time's sake, may I just mention that the leaders meeting assists the minister in the pastoral oversight of the society in general to advise him on all matters concerning it. So the leaders meeting is structured in such a way that the minister chairs the meeting. The minister is the chair of the meeting. And when we meet, there's a need for the minister to take reports from the 4 major coordinating offices. That is how leaders meetings should be run. The agenda is in the constitution. Any leaders meeting should have reports from the coordinating office of finance and development, coordinating office of education and youth development, coordinating office from of social services, and ministries. When we have these reports, discussions would help the church move forward. That is how leaders meetings should be conducted. And one may ask, who constitutes the leaders meeting? The Constitution gives us how to elect representatives to the leaders meeting. In fact, when you read the Constitution, the words are chosen advisedly. In the societies, there's a difference between appointments and elections. Each time elections are mentioned, the mode of election is also there. But appointment is silent. When you see the word appointment, it is appointment. So representatives to the meeting are elected from the society meeting. When you read SO, let me see whether I can give it to you quickly. So you read it and appreciate what is there. SO 730. I'm using the 2000 revised edition for the moment. SO 730 gives us how we elect people to be in the leaders meeting. Let me just read the first provision. A society shall be entitled to be represented in this leaders meeting by members elected in the proportion of 1 to every 50, or part of 50 full members of that society, up to a maximum of 8 elected representatives. When you read, you realize that leaders so elected have 1 year as representing the society, but they are eligible for reappointment. They can be reappointed to continue. So it is not a case where somebody will have to stay in the leaders meeting for more than, some are virtually there more than 20 years, they are there. In fact, when you come to our societies in Ghana, some have even made the position a stool. So when he leaves the place, he wants his son or nephew to represent him or her. And that is contrary to the constitutional provision. Let us go to the Constitution and do the needful. It will help us. And when you get to the Constitution again, you realize that our leaders there, for example, stewards, please take your time to read the constitution, especially the provisions that concern and touch society. You realize that because of what is happening in our public politics, monetization, and this is my brother, this is my countryman, and so people vote on these lines. Gradually, these things are creeping into the church.
Yes.
So let us read the constitutional mandate and what of these things that are coming. It might interest you to know that in the constitution, stewards are not supposed to be elected. All officers apart from the election of representatives to this meeting, stewards are appointed. Chapel stewards are appointed. And you read it and you'll be surprised. They are not supposed to be elected because that is the substructum of the church. If we expose them to elections, I can assure you we may be dividing our church. So I would urge my sister, grab the constitution and take your time and read the provisions touching leaders meeting and even appointments. You realize that these things are there, and the framers of the constitution had that wisdom to distinguish between elections and appointments. Once again, when you leave the scene, it behoves the incumbent leader to bring all on board, notwithstanding the fact that we have set of leaders. The leader should cultivate that wonderful atmosphere so that those who have left offices will be part and parcel of the movement, because our mandate is 3 years, no renewable. That does not mean that after 3 years you don't have anything for the church. The leaders should encourage as many as possible past officers to be part and parcel of the church's activities so that we tap their wisdom and move the church forward. So this is what I can say as regards the question that our sister posed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Papa, late President. Thank you so much. God bless you for Sister Anajele. I think you are satisfied with the answer, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My name is Ayele, not Ayele.
Nayele.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. So
Well, the next question comes from Brother Fred. I see Brother Fred's hand up. After the Brother Fred's hand has asked his question, I will read one question from the chat. Then I will go to the next question, which will be Brother Nat Boaten. After Nat Boaten, Brother Michael Dia will speak. So, Brother Fred, please, you have the floor. Mute.
Christ in tea. Christ in tea. What's the matter? Christ in tea. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Late President. We thank you so much for what you took us through. I've not been able to follow most of the events this week, so pardon me for that. Maybe the question that I'm going to ask, probably the answer might have come, but if that has happened, please kindly point me to that. When Mr. President was talking, he mentioned about our hymns. Our hymns are so dear to my heart. I love our hymns, and I know most Methodist members also love our hymns. In this day and age that digitization is everywhere and we do many things virtually, I'd like to know if the church has a plan. So that is why I initially said that if there's something somewhere, point me to that. I don't know whether the church has a plan at this moment to have quality production of our hymns, in terms of like the audio, in terms of singing, in terms of the video and everything. And I don't know whose mandate that will be, whether it will be on the churches, on the individual diocese, or it will be on the individual societies. But I don't think that will be the best approach, because we're going to have different versions, and the quality is not going to be to the standard that we want to project for the Methodist Church. I know apart from virtual services that we would need quality, like hymns with the lyrics and with the quality sound and the videos and everything, there are situations, I don't know whether that will be ending anytime soon. We keep on planting churches. And one of the major problems that we face at the initial stages is that we don't have organists. You go to a Methodist church with no choir, with no organist, it's really, really hard to stay there. If you have a place somewhere else, if you came from somewhere else and you come to a new Methodist church being formed and the hymns are not being sung properly, so we are all trying. It's so hard. But if the church has a quality production of our hymns, in the absence of having like a recognized choir or like a quality choir or having a recognized or quality organist, we can play these quality videos, quality audios, and at least it can simulate like the physical service, or like we having like a physical choir in place singing. That is the angle that I'm coming from. So that is one need. Another need is in our own personal situations. If I'm down, if I want to encourage myself, if I want to lift up myself, I lift my soul. If I want to learn our hymns, well, I can go and read it, sing from the hymn book. Probably I know the CM and the LM and all that. But if we have a single source where we have all these quality videos and quality audios that I can put on my phone, put on my gadget and listen to, that is another way for me to learn our hymns. That's another way to learn about God. That's another way to also help other people as well. There are individuals who go on the net or who go elsewhere and they're looking for something. If they chance upon our quality hymn, that's another way of us evangelizing to them. And every single time that they keep coming, and every single time that they keep singing our hymns and listening to our hymns, they will know the source. This is from Methodist Church Ghana. And that is a way of marketing ourselves as well. And that's another way of winning more souls for Christ. So my main question is, do we have a plan as a church about our hymns going digital?
That's beautiful.
Thank you very much, Brother Fred. I think I will throw this question, I'll refer this question to the late president. But before then, I would ask everybody, when you come with your question, please be precise. We have a lot of people who want to ask questions, so try to be concise. Thank you.
Moderator, I think the question, the brother's question and contribution is beautiful. I've not even adverted my mind to it. And I don't think we have any projects at the moment. So let him, I don't know whether he may give it to whoever is come to represent you at conference, so that we put it before conference. It is something that we have to. If you don't say it, I would say it, because I want it to come for America, because it's wonderful. I'm in for it. We have to. It's long overdue. We have to. Like you said, if you attend a new society, people are struggling with the quality of our hymns, and even some find it difficult to sing the hymn. Meanwhile, the hymn is loaded with so many things that would help us move forward as a church. So the audio hymns, the quality audio hymns, is something that we have to bring on board. And I thank him so much for mentioning it. Let your representative come and bring table it at conference, and I think Methodists will embrace it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Papa President. Thank you so much.
Moderator, just a quick one to some of his comments.
Okay.
I believe over the years it has been setting the assistant choir, recording a couple of our songs on something and singing out. Setting maybe circuit choir doing that. So if maybe congregational choir will be taking that up, it will help. Another thing I want to add is the training of organists. It's something we have started working on it at our executive level, we do have first draft of proposal of which learning of playing organ will be done in 9 weeks to 8 weeks project. The first draft came, executive looked at it, we've raised some questions on it. Our brother who is helping us doing that, Dr. Wesley Dankwa, he's going back to work on it again. And then once we receive it, we will let it play into the diocese. And it's our prayer that at least 2 people from each society will be on board to this. There will be training of several phases of it. And he is confident that if such people, if we don't just push people there, but people elect themselves with that motivation to learn, it can be done. So that is our wish, and that is what is in the pipeline coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, late chairman. The next question, I'll read it from the chat. And this question is coming from Brother Augustine Edu Donina. Some people think that Methodist Church in general has failed its youth in relation to access into Methodist University and other tertiary institutions. How far is this state true? How far is this state true and false? True or false? And if so, what steps are being laid to encourage the youth to benefit from those institutions? Thank you.
If I may answer.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't think the Methodist Church has put any impediments in the way of youth of the church. There's even a scholarship package for people who would want to, especially those who are needy. There's some package, and over the years, adverts have been made from the pulpits. Well, sorry, from when we're having announcements to encourage people to attend the university. I also want to say that now there are many universities in Ghana now, and I don't think the Methodist Church is discouraging the youth from accessing our institutions. I don't think so. I don't think so. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, President. So, Brother Augustine, the answer is no. That is not, it's not happening. That the Methodist Church is putting impediments in any youth's way to enter these universities. The next question will be from Brother Nat Boatin. Brother Nat Boatin, you have the floor.
Thank you, Brother Bernard. I will serve.
The church.
My question is simple. I think this is a follow-up from my previous question that I asked, and because of time, we were not able to probably get a proper answer. My understanding, based on the definition of the lay, as I said at the last time, is that it's the societies or organizations, leaders meeting, with the exception of the ordained ministers. That is how the Constitution defines it. So right now, the issue that I'm having, that I'm trying to get a clarification, is that, is it wrong for me as a circuit lay chairman to go to the societies that are in my circuit, or the organizations that are in my circuit, for money to be given to Christ Little Band and the Guild for evangelism in our circuit, if I'm not able to raise money for the lay? Because right now, the lay, we don't have money in our coffers. If I'm not able to raise the money, is it wrong for me to go to the organizations and the societies and request money to be given to the Christ Little Bound and the Guild to do evangelism in our circuit. This is the clarification that I need. So if you can help me, I will appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Nat. Before I refer the question to our lay chairman or our lay president, I would rather say a little bit about it. You said if you are not able to raise funds, going to this, the circuit of the societies under you, going to the organizations, is in itself raising of funds. You are raising funds. So it's the same thing, in my opinion.
Okay.
Let me see if, lay chairman has anything to add or lay president. Thank you.
Well,
Okay, lay president, okay.
To begin with, the circuit should have a budget. The Circuit Lay Movement Council chairman or that particular circuit should have a budget, and you should know your source of funding. It will be difficult to move from one circuit to a society because matters we operate in levels. The society is there. For example, let's take Guild. Guild is the society, and there's a lay movement council there. So the Circuit Lay Movement Council chairman cannot just go to a society and demand for money, because there's a lay chairman in that society who coordinates activities of all the organizations there. So if the circuit needs money, in the first place, there should be a budget. And if for one reason or the other, they need more money, he would have to fall on the Society Lay Movement Council chairman of that particular society to do what he can to probably mobilize money or whatever for him. He cannot just go straight to society, Guild, coming from the circuit to demand money. So I believe we should look at our channel of communication and how we do our things, because we believe in doing things methodically. So if the circuit chairman has the difficulty, he would have to see the Society Movement chairman for him to assist him, but he cannot go straight to the society circuit, society Guild, for example, to demand money. That would not be proper. It's just like somebody from the connection, the assistant chairman going straight to society to demand money from a particular organization. That would be a recipe for confusion. The diocese, if the diocese needs money or extra money, probably he would organize the circuit lay chairman, and if they are unable, the circuit lay chairman may also go to the society lay chairman for the organization to be done to enable them to get the money. But you can't just go down straight and demand money. It will create problems. That is my take as regards the question he posed.
All right, thank you very much. I think this gives me much clarity. So at the circuit level, I can't go to the society, but the circuit organizations, we can reach out to them if we need help.
Yes, that one is within your mandate. That's why you are coordinating activities.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it solved my problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
Bernard, you are muted. You are muted.
The next question comes from Brother Michael Dia. I'm sorry about the confusion. Brother Michael Dia, you have the floor. You can ask your question.
Over name that's pa. But before I me question, I'm person me busandi. Yeah, kasa. Ghana for kasa. Say yem fancy ana akan ana ga. Eno ene dan yamane ene amamre edi e wo baby ya ye wo bia ma ye hu enipa kra ya ye. any baby are you free. A baby female and many quine actually okrom here from elementary to high school. Now, who school no more minorities no Spanish for or more Spanish class aya or moko. Chinese for so or Chinese class aya or moko. Italy for or more dear. Like almost all the other countries except Africa for no aya Ghana for yeah can hono. Now say yeah but sorry I say ye tree no it's a taboo for us to speak tree or Ga or any other Ghanaian language. We don't speak it at all. Say yeah service near you, say yeah meetings you, say yeah you. And the Uber say yeah man, they don't have access to our Ghanaian language at all. No access. Bia kakraya our phone back actually or move you. It's a granny bedi 18, 19 to 21 no. Would you treat a cancer match no and as Santa Casa a cancer match? What are you saying? What do you mean? I don't want to say that. I don't know. Because yes, a woman Spanish before Chinese before India before Omokasa or Mokano said you know, and so about one change your English now they are perfect. And the my question me person me say a dear about there and I as sorry. And I lay a dear promote your Ghanaian language, no. Ama your cultural identity, no. I stand out. Me pacho, me question, no. Me that's it.
Thank you very much, Brother dear Boatin, Michael. I will refer this question to our Honorable Bishop Deputy.
Yes, thank you for the question. We discussed this extensively on Thursday because one of the recommendations that came to the Synod from the Education and Youth Development Office was specifically about that. We discussed it, we raised it. And I some different suggestions for example, say, encourage all the families, say, or you'll teach and encourage them to learn and speak the languages of our origin, emphasizing the fact to say, and one, it's not only Akan, or is it only Ga? It's there are different languages. You encourage you the home language. You will fear. We also suggested, say, sorry, the churches can have, for example, vacation language schools. Sorry, to me, yes, vacation is what say 6 weeks, 4 weeks. Now, which Asante tree. Over this period of time to supplement and just say no best supplant near families here. But sorry, this is a way in which the church can so more our vacation language school. And we also suggested as in addition, not as a replacement, in addition, there are some good language at the programs online, which you can also add to actually say, you can learn it with some additional resources from there. It's in here, can say, we are encouraging all our societies and our churches to say, in language, some language school. You can do language culture school for our young people. Say to me, in every area. supplement the encouragement that we are giving to all the families, say, Yembo to help them to acquire the languages of their origin.
Thank you so much, Bishop. Thank you so much. The next question will come from Sister Joanna of Joan K. Joan K. After Joan K. will be Amazing Grace. And after Amazing Grace will be Ghana Ebenezer Methodist. So Joan K., you have the floor.
For good afternoon, Patron de Joanna. Yeah, Maryland, me play me be there. So quite for your problem. Whom do we send our problem to? Is it the lay or the church? Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for the question. I will refer the question to Bishop Deputy again.
Yeah, why not let the lay chairman or lay president? Also, the reason is, these organizations, these intergenerational organizations, they report to the lay movement, and that's how it gets to lay chair and lay president.
Yeah, if you said at the beginning of the discussion, we cited so many examples concerning that. But I will ask, what level is a problem? What nature is a problem? Borrowing from the Bible, it says, so giving us procedure of which we can resolve our differences. If it is society level, I would ask that you employ society lay movement to get involved in whatever the situation is. After, so long as it depends on you, right? So after you've been doing something and it's still not resolving, and you feel or that you adding additional people, it will help. I would say use, if it's society, use that level. If it's circuit, use that level. And then if it's a diocesan one, then you can come to the diocesan lay movement. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are mute, so you have to unmute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. I like the way the chairman started. So you start from the individual. So if it's two choristers, when you are unable to resolve the problem, you have to see the choir leader, the leader of your choir. If he's unable to resolve it, then probably you get to a lay movement council chairman, so that you don't. If that is unable, if you are unable to resolve it, then probably you can even talk to the steward if you think. If the lay chairman is unable, if the steward is unable, then probably you send to leaders meeting, so that before you get there, you may have resolved your difficulty. So don't jump to the asofo. The asofo, they are burdened. In fact, if you get closer to the ministers, they are burdened with so many issues. So we should allow them to look at the spiritual aspect more for us, so that the little things that we can resolve, let's resolve them, so that the ministers would concentrate, because they have a lot on their table and on their plates already. So we should show them by using ourselves to resolve our difficulties. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President, and thank you, lay chairman, for answering the question. The next question comes from Ghana Ebenezer Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace.
I will serve
the church.
Pacho, your friend Grace has instruments, and my question is,
is there any limitation to the operation of the lay? Or more like lay responsibilities? No, yeah, what limitations for so and baby or lay into mean cross it and I said BB any hosa. Thank you.
You're welcome, but so your question specific, JB about boy, I want to obey you. And limitation like where do you see that extension coming from?
Okay, me understand mini example, but the American say, say in regards to responsibilities now lay a performing at JB or honoma like when it reaches this point where there any lay a semana CBB. That is what I mean. And I say everything could go through the lay. There are no restrictions and limitations. Thank you.
There are restrictions and limitations. Moderator, if I may proffer 1 or 2 examples. The lay is not your duty to go dispensing communion. You can only assist the minister. Organizing communal service. You cannot. That's what I'm saying. And I say, lay, and your responsibility say, I don't think sorry, my say you're baptizing before. You can only assist the sofa. These are some of the limitations. You can always assist the sofa communion or my communion. If you wine or now because in any case, you're setting in place. But and you do say, so I know I now wine will be now no. You can only assist the minister. Baptism, Sunday man. In fact, you don't have the duty to officiate marriages. You're not licensed. You can be the most powerful preacher. You don't have the mandate to go officiating marriages. Ministers in your marriage officers are buying. You cannot do that. So we have limitations. Now I'm the pastor, bishop deputy. He knows the mandate of the lay. And question will be very important. It looks very innocuous, but important. Some may, in their events and enthusiasm, cross the line. You have some limitations by virtue of our position and the laity. Thank you. But that's it.
Thank you, President. Thank you so much. Our next question is from Ghana Ebenezer Methodist. Oh, that's where I just took, right? Okay, I'm sorry. So at this point, I don't see any hands up. Oh, you might not. Okay, Ghana Ebenezer, I think that I said that out, right? Oh, okay, you're
all right. Okay, but you may see Doris me question me I don't know if I'll have a chance, but the first one is about conditionalism. I know that and they talk a lot about conditionalism. But when you sit down and look at what they said and about what the churches are growing and how things are going in now, I don't see that conditionalism. And the next you see I heard the brother Alex so kind on Wednesday, I think Wednesday, so about togetherness. And I say, yeah, teamwork. I don't see it. There will be people somebody say, why am I saying that? Because sometimes, even if the church needs help and reach out to a minister, to evangelist, they don't even call them back. And two, or be say, okay, I'm going to help the church grow. No, they question the person, say, why did you do it? And I'm like, so why is it that when some people take their time to help some people, is it a problem? It's the conditionalism, dear. Then I need more clarification on that. Make a U-turn. Free. So people see me actually example they can clarify on that conditionalism now. I will be really, really appreciated. And number two, about leadership. yes, when we are leaders, sometimes we try to do things. Say, a favor obi, but a leader has to be neutral. But then a group idea is like, oh, me calling, so I'm siding with these people. I know, sir, your chairman, I can't say something like that. Say, oh, if it's not A, then it's B. Yes, because that is what is going on. And sometimes you sit down and be like, am I a Methodist, or should I just quit and just be by myself? Because when we are back home, the way things were, we did things, and yes, Anna, what say happen, ma, connectionalism and leadership. I need a lot of, maybe it's myself, I need a lot of clarification on it.
And what's your third question?
My third question, so I have about small societies. How, because say you care about societies, how are we going to help the small societies grow? In the sense that the small societies is like sometimes nobody cares about the small societies. And the small societies are going down. Maybe they haven't come even into the church to know the reason why the church is even not growing. Now, Sebio, me patron, such an example. Also for another church, go and do something over there, and then come to that church and make as if nothing has happened. Call members not to come to church. Now, I'm sorry, no, then they blame it on one person. To me, it's wrong. The leadership, the second leadership, or the diocesan leadership has to come in and intervene and see, where is the problem? But we don't see those things. It's me, Pamacho. I need clarification on all these things. There's some of it.
Thank you so much, Sister Doris, for your questions. Bocha, I throw this question to you, any of you who can help us with the question.
Well, Mami, Enkasamfa smaller societies, over the years, say in our policy, yema small societies, somehow they exist like the bigger ones, or if you can smaller society cry, you want societies that are not financially strong, or in the same vein, smaller societies. Say societies are any financially strong now. Anka ni papa mupa dia. And I think we are getting there. But say sorry bad time no say seki to and I say that society so. That is the thinking of many of us, and I know we'll get there. I say it me boom no mujame omuna so, and say assessment you cry start assessment. That is very, very important. They can put in place all the major structures to enable them grow and then bring the results. But there's also the tendency to say, when you allow some of these societies in that way, they become used to. They do enough for assessment, but not a problem. Until right from the way go, their responsibilities. But over the years, it's difficult. How come society be especially Ghana has some of these smaller societies. Almost state of infrastructure as a film kakra. I think gradually we get there. And now Okasafa connectionality and as a connectionalism. The question about Ubisa me who say a problem as regards individual societies, and yes, who pronounce the whole connection. It now boils down to leadership, because if there's a difficulty, the leader would have to be neutral. We leader now, we are aligned that then you cease to be a leader. You should be somebody who would unify all the members of the church, notwithstanding the difficulty. Who read the constitution once again? Even if we are discipline, the discipline is said that the person is not thrown out. Yeah, nothing like this communication. You are rather disciplined to become a member of the church, but you do it with the touch of the Bible. And you know, say it should be bad society there. The leader involved should do what he can to remove himself from it and deal with the situation as a neutral person with the intention of bringing them together. That should be our agenda. And you can say in our quest to resolve difficulties. And say that idea. That is why when you are electing leaders, we should prayerfully elect them. We should not rush to elect leaders. We should elect people who have been tried and tested with proven integrity. Very important, because if you elect wrong persons, they will end up dividing the church. Each time we have the opportunity to elect our officers or leaders, let us pray and be led by the Spirit to elect competent, God-fearing, and men or women of proven integrity. Because the church is so rich, but somehow, etosini tina me kasa kakra betumi aka afa enua no question, but it's quite worrisome. Say ebanisana the odi enim ebechiche mu dia na je say yekwa na say bae. Especially when we are electing our leaders, let us be careful as to who we elect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President. The President has answered two of the questions. That's the leadership and the small societies. The congregationalism questions that he raised, I want to refer that to Bishop.
I think later was trying to say, yeah. So go ahead.
Papa, what I want to say to this is, I think over the week we've hammered this over and over. I acknowledge the way in which we, North American Mission, came together. We came as individuals, but we did have people who have this teamwork, connectionality in mind. And that's why those days, people will travel miles over miles just to attend meetings to make sure that we come out as one body. Again, we were able to come together, send proposal to EBRI, results of which we see now. SMC 1, SMC Bishop Asari came, and we had a meeting at 4H. The fallout of which was one AGM we attended and certificates were issued to us. We kind of had a declaration that we, these societies, will come together and form a mission. But then we go back to our societies and these separations are there. Within circuit, some societies don't count themselves as members of the circuit, but they are in the circuits. You called quarterly meetings and they won't come. You issue circuit directives and as if it's not binding, they still continue to do what they want to do. These things breaks unity and teamwork. Again, the picture or the better way it's for all of us to come together. We don't necessarily have to sit down waiting for leadership to descend on us. Sometimes we as small societies can also reach out. And I can also understand where the small societies will be calling and calling and calling and there's no help. This is where I would employ them to maybe move a little bit step forward, right? If it's a society and you keep calling on circuit and your issues are not resolved, get it up, one step, and see if there will be results. But the goal is for us to come together big societies cannot do it alone. We are sending proposal to Ghana. 37 as recorded now, indeed. Do we count the 37 as societies? In Ghana, some of which will be considered as what? Preaching post or a Bible class. Not a society yet, but depending on our peculiarity, we consider that to be a society, meaning that we cannot, big societies cannot do it alone. We need all of us. So our sister asked a question. I really don't see it as a question. It is just drawing our attention to the fact that we have forgotten our core mandate, right? The reason of which we have come together. So moving forward, let us please try to do this. And I will plead on Bishop Deputy to please maybe take this to your superintendent ministers. This is what we need. When circuits are together, the circuit will come to the mission as one body, and the mission would also be one body in Christ. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Le Chairman.
Madam Moderator.
Just yeah. I think I think Atlanta Circuit steward may like to say a few words on this point, right?
Okay. Yes, please. Yes,
Okay.
I just wanted to add a little bit. I think yesterday I touched on it during the panel discussion, that we should always, at the fore of our minds, know that it is God's work that we are doing and not necessarily our work. Ayana yamani pasemno adoso. Saying say nyami jumano ebekoso. We are different people. The diversity is our strength, but sometimes we make it our weakness. And tiasia nye juma na I don't know ayedin. I believe say in as much as there's connectionalism, there's that unity we are all forging to do. The church in its wisdom too has communication structures or hierarchy, how we communicate throughout, the whole connection. And so it becomes worrisome when Senya Leche Markai, you have to go through the first level. If you're not getting a response from the first level, you go to the next level. That is understandable. But then if it goes to the fifth level, and then the fifth level now has to come back and find out from the second level, do you know about this? And no, I don't know. It becomes so problematic. There is wisdom in communication channels. Okay, in the now, in the context of connectionalism, there are structures that have been put in place. Every society, every society in this North America, no matter how small it is assigned a minister. Every society, it doesn't matter if you are 10 people who are starting, you are assigned a minister. There's a minister that has been put there to make sure that they are helping you. There's a church, a society, a parent or big society that is attached to you that is asked to make sure that things are going all well with you. If that connection is not going on, then we can go to the next level and apply to our complaint that this and this is going on. So we are not ignoring any society, anybody, but let us recognize that there are levels of communication. We have to understand how we communicate within this connection. There was a lot of the issues that I have experienced have been lack of communication or misunderstanding. And please, let us pay attention. Let us ask for God's wisdom to do this work. And yes, every year we will come and we'll talk about this same thing over and over again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brother Komrajew, for the contribution, clarification. Brothers and sisters, it's